Erik, how you doing? Let's go and take a look. I got your poster up right here. Looks like we got it fit in the window pretty well here. So let's go ahead and take a look. Um, Requirements, first of all, let's go through the requirements because a lot of students are having trouble with the requirements. So I'm just going to go through this week 4 page. Assignment 4 part 1 page, and I'm going to go through the requirements and some of the requirements associated with this first paragraph here, the instruction section, the objective section, and the design requirements section. So that's where I'm getting my comments from if you want to go and review that area. Okay, so first of all, the image must be dominant. The object must be dominant. Right now it's not. The headline is dominant, and we clearly see the boldness and the visual weight of the headline is taking first position in hierarchy. The image itself should be dominant in the composition. We can see an example right here. See how this image is dominant, and see how the toaster image is dominant. So you even more so than the typography. So you want the image itself to be dominant. Okay, the object to be dominant. The object must be shown with somebody using it or interacting with it. You've got that here. Must show an image of which is a result of using the object. What's the result of using a phone? I mean, I would say that you just show somebody on the phone. Okay. Um, must show at least two components. You've got the charger and the earphones, so that's good. Uh, Include the design in everyday life. That's good. Include body copy and captions. I think these are captions. I'm not sure if they are though, and I'll talk about those in a second. 11 by or 7 by 15. This doesn't look 7 by 15. Might be. Yeah, gosh, I don't know. That just doesn't look like 7 by 15 to me. So you want to check your file size on that. Imagery must come in contact with the edge of the page at least somewhere twice. You got there, good. Design must combine images that are in boxes as part of the background and cropped images. All of your images are cropped, so there's nothing really in a box. So we need to include some images that are in boxes or some sort of container, as it were, shaped container. It doesn't necessarily have to be a box. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So watch those requirements. We're going to be looking for those. They're all fair game and grading, right? Okay, let's go ahead and look at the composition itself. All right, now, the first thing I see is just the visual weight of the headline. I think this is a great um, typographic composition, but there's some areas that I'm very concerned about. Okay, the word "in." Right, first of all, it's set in bold, so it's just really demanding a lot of attention. I think that it's really in your face. It's very, very aggressive. There's not a whole lot of finesse here at all. My recommendation is to take this typographic composition and try to incorporate some finesse. Now, this word "in" has been stretched, and we can clearly see it's not just larger type, it's definitely stretched. So when you place that word "in," it looks like you stretched it. That is not the original size and proportions of this "n" here, nor is the "I." You do not want to change the proportions or the original aspect ratio of any type ever, unless it's for a very, very specific reason. Right now, this isn't working. Um, if you want to resize something once you place it, you select it, right, and you grab the corner bounding box and you drag the corner bounding box. Now, to constrain the original aspect ratio, you want to hold the shift key down when you resize, okay? So again, a little bit more finesse in the this area right here. Right now, you're really super top heavy. Like this is just so heavy up here and then so light down here. It almost looks like the composition could topple over because it's so top heavy. And one of the reasons I think is because of this. This type is placed right up in here. There's a lot of design elements converging right in this area of the composition. When we look at the typography, the paragraph is too small in comparison to the spatial relationships to the document size as well as the type for the headline. That's just really tiny. You would have to move in, and this should be visible without moving in or moving out or trying to zoom in or zoom out. My recommendation is to increase the size of the type there a little bit. Now, let's zoom in here a little bit and let's take a closer look at that paragraph. So, I mean, you're set okay, but really the problem I'm seeing is a couple. That looks like two spaces after that period, only one space after periods. The leading is really tight, and so is the tracking. I would open up the tracking, and I would definitely open up the leading on this. It's right now it's just packed too densely. Watch your rags. Rags definitely need to be adjusted. Those are covered in course announcements right here, how to adjust your rags. But those rags definitely need to be adjusted. That's a typographic widow. That's covered in the course materials. Do not want to include a typographic widow. Okay, as far as the captions go, I think the captions are again, too much weight on the captions. So captions should be, instead of one word, so earphones. So I would say, earphones come as standard package with the iPhone 11. Okay, so instead of just one word. Plus, you don't want so much emphasis on the captions. The captions should have less. The caption should be smaller than the body copy, and that's another indication this body copy is too small. Because if we change the captions any smaller than that, they won't be visible. So my recommendation is to create a phrase for the captions. Also, set your captions on italic, and don't use bold type in your captions. Okay. Other than that, I think that really you just kind of want to redistribute the weight too. Right now, I just think you're really super top heavy in the composition. So, okay, so a little bit of work to do. Again, get into the course announcements. Take a look at these 4 announcements right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a ton of information here. Really good stuff that will help you throughout the duration of the class. So be sure to take a look at those. Specifically in this announcement here, I actually dissected this ad right here, or this poster right here, which is outstanding, but I really, really dissect that so you can see firsthand the success and some of the design decisions that were made here that contributed to the success of this poster. Definitely get some good ideas out of your composition, some good ideas therein. Okay, so at that point, yes, we do have a little bit of work to do, but if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. But before you start compiling your final, I would definitely recommend that you go through all of the course materials. Everything in there is fair game for grading. So things like this widow right here, those are things that really, really need to be addressed. Okay? All right, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you very much.